Okay, I want you to imagine a voice, not from a person, but from a place where the air is so sharp it tastes like ancient snow. A being that looks like a statue, totally unmoving, but inside is a furnace of pure creation. We're about to dive into a really powerful perspective today, stepping inside a narrative that's less of a story and more, well, a force of nature. So let's get into our explainer on the monologue of Mahadev. Right away, this kicks off on an absolutely epic scale. The monologue begins before the universe even existed, in what you might call the Great Nothing. From this point of view, Shiva is that silence that was waiting, the fundamental emptiness from which all light, all of creation, would eventually explode into being. It just sets a mind-bendingly cosmic scale for everything we're about to hear. Now, that kind of silence, it can be scary, right? It reminds us mortals of our own end. And because of that fear, we've given Shiva a name that reflects it, the Destroyer. But here's the thing, and this is so important to get. This role is maybe one of the most misunderstood ideas in all of mythology. Okay, let's just tackle this head on. For us, living our relatively short lives, destruction feels like the end. It feels final, and it's terrifying. We see a leaf fall from a tree, and we think about death. But from this cosmic viewpoint, that's completely missing the bigger picture. It's not about the one leaf. It's about the entire forest that needs that decay to be reborn. And this slide just lays it out perfectly. It really is all about a shift in perspective. Where we see a hard stop, a period at the end of the sentence, this idea of destruction is more like turning the page to start a brand new, exciting chapter. It's not an act of anger or malice. It's just a cosmic necessity. It has to happen. And these analogies really hit the point home. I mean, think about it. Does a farmer destroy the field when he plows it to plant new seeds? Does a sculptor destroy a block of stone to reveal the statue inside? Of course not. They're just clearing the way for what has to come next. Well, that's the role of the destroyer, just on a scale so massive it makes the stars themselves tremble. But this role isn't just about making way for the future. Sometimes it's about preservation. It's about holding everything together when creation itself is about to fall apart from the inside out. And that brings us to this absolutely wild story about the Hala Hala poison. So, picture this, the great churning. For once, the gods and the demons, the devas and the asuras, are actually on the same team. They have a common goal. They're churning the great cosmic ocean, all of them desperate to get their hands on the nectar of immortality. But before they found what they were looking for, something else started to bubble up from the depths, something truly awful. A toxic, foul vapor so potent it could dissolve your thoughts, rot your very soul. It was so terrifying, it literally made the stars in the sky turn pale with fear. And we're not talking about a regular chemical here. As this slide explains, this poison, Hala Hala, was the physical form of all potential suffering. Think about it. Every bit of greed, all the bitterness, all the pain of every being that would ever exist, all concentrated into this one horrifying substance. The universe itself started to wilt. The gods fled, the demons choked, everyone panicked. With nowhere left to run, who do you think they turned to? They all went to Shiva. The story goes that he just came down, saw the absolute terror that had gripped creation, and then he did the unthinkable. He gathered that hissing, burning poison into his hands, and in a single act of unbelievable sacrifice, he drank it. All of it. And this is the part that gets me every time. He didn't just swallow it and make it disappear. No, he held its agonizing, world-ending power in his throat, containing it. And that act turned his throat blue. It's why he's called Nilkund, the blue-throated one. It's not just for show. It's a permanent scar, a constant reminder of what it costs to protect the world. So destruction can be about creation, and it can be about preservation. But what happens when the world gets, well, stuck? When it becomes so heavy with its own corruption and illusion that it can't move forward? In those moments, you need something different. You need something way more dynamic. The idea here is that when our own egos get so big they block out our soul, when we forget who we really are, you can't just talk your way out of it. You need a shock to the system. You need a rhythm so powerful it can shake the very foundations of reality. And this is what leads to one of the most iconic, high-energy images of Shiva you'll ever see. And this is when he dances. The Ananda Tandava, the cosmic dance of bliss. This is pure, high-impact action. The first beat of his drum shakes the underworld. The second one cracks the sky. Now, it might look like pure rage, but it's not. It's described as ecstatic liberation, a dance so powerful that galaxies fly from his fingertips and time itself has to bend to his rhythm.
So what is this dance actually doing? It's deeply symbolic. He's dancing on the back of a little dwarf who represents the demon of our own ego, the part of us that feels separate and alone. So again, it's not an angry dance. It's a cleansing fire. It's like a wildfire, clearing out all the dead wood of the past, so something new and fresh can finally grow.
Okay, so we've talked about all this epic stuff, destruction, poison, cosmic dances, but what does any of it have to do with you or with me? Well, in this philosophy, all of these stories are really just a map pointing to a truth that's lying dormant inside every single one of us. The third eye. We've all heard of it, right? But what is it really? It's described as this hidden fire of pure consciousness. There's a story where Kama, the god of desire, tries to distract Shiva from his meditation. Shiva just opens his third eye, and with a beam of pure insight, it sees right through the desire to the ego beneath it and turns Kama to ash. And look, the point isn't that desire is bad. It's that desire without wisdom can be a prison. And here's the kicker. You have one. We all do. It's just buried, under all the layers of stress and worry and the noise of everyday life. But it flickers on in those moments of deep silence, or when you feel such profound empathy for someone that it's like you can feel their heartbeat. It's that potential inside all of us to see past the surface and burn away our own illusions. And that whole idea of burning away illusions, it connects perfectly to this other key symbol, the sacred ash. Shiva is covered in it. Why? Well, it's what's left when everything else, everything temporary, is gone. Your job title, your bank account, your reputation, it all burns away. The ash represents the ultimate truth. In the end, we shouldn't fear it, because what remains is pure. So when you boil it all down, the final message here is that you don't need to go on some epic quest to find this. This cosmic presence isn't just on some faraway mountain. It's in you. It's in the moments of sudden peace you feel, or the strength you find to forgive someone. So the final question is this. What if the real Mount Kailash is just a state of stillness inside your own heart? What if that cosmic drum is just your own heartbeat, waiting for you to finally listen? Because in this view, it's been beating there all along.